Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Mr. JP, the game is Out of Ore, and you join me again after the loader crash, so I've quickly loaded up the machinery again to prepare for this video, because another half hour or so of the loader would have been boring, and I've got it to the point where I was starting to see a little bit of a frame rate drop when I was playing with the soil, so I stopped mining. So we're just going to turn the machines on to see how much I've stockpiled. I put about 6 in each. And that one's got 3,000 on it, so it's about 500% per bucketful. So 20 bucketfuls would fill the machine to 10,000. Excuse me. So yeah, I fired up my machinery and it's emptying into this bulldozer, and this is going to be the sort of road building demonstration video. Bulldozer? I meant dumper. So yeah, it's emptying into this dumper, as you can see there. This is the bulking in operation. You see it filling up with dirt texture rather than the balls we're used to. It doesn't overflow, which means my entire ramp thing into hoppers there is kind of unnecessary, but I've left it in place. So we'll go down to the 500, which I was thinking about ditching. Oh, it's parked up here. I'd forgotten about that. Okay, we'll try that again. We'll go down to the 301, which I'm kind of loving. I'm loving this little guy. It's only a little loader, but for road building purposes, he's doing well. So we've been building up this ramp down here, and this is mainly just to give me access into this wall. I'm not sure there's nothing in this section down here, but I'm going to dig it out because it leads into a pair of seams, as you can see. So as a demonstration of I've built this platform and I want to build a level road that way through that hill. So you just put the blade down, press Q, round mouse, hit the 0 button, brings me my green line, and I can just dig it. As you can see, I'm sliding a bit along the line of the hill, but I've dug in a little bit, so I'll back up. So it's best to attack this from the square, if that makes sense. You want to be square to the hill. But so I've started my cut, and because I'm road building, that little tree's annoying. I'm just going to dump it off over here, and I'm getting a bit of frame rate drop there for doing that, but it was only 49 out of 50. For some reason, the dashboard caps at 50. I know it's running faster than that. So yeah, that tree is annoying. So, to get rid of trees like that, actually, let's get a bucket full of dirt first. So, just manoeuvre around a little. So yeah, the cut angle's a little lower than you might expect, but the height is set by the height of the arm and the material in front of you, really. So yeah, I keep bouncing over this little tree, and it's really annoying. So, press P, park the wagon, jump out by pressing E, and I'm just going to click the demolish tool. I'm going to demolish that square, and that square, and I'm going to demolish that square as well. Then I'm going to take the demolish tool and turn it off, because otherwise your vehicles turn into wrecking machines. It's great, you can bulldoze anything really quickly. It's brilliant. If you want to get rid of a road, just put the bucket down into the road surface and drive, and it just disappears in front of you and goes back into your inventory, which is kind of handy. So yeah, I don't really want that big tree up there either, so just drop a little bit on him, and then drive around there, and drop a little bit on him. Quite a lot on him, in fact. So yeah, then I'm going to park up this vehicle, get myself around to a position where I'm not going to wipe it out with the components that I'm going to put back in. Nice and simple, he says, before the construction system decides to screw around. No, it's going to be a good one. There we go. Right, so we got those tiles in there, everything's cool. Let's go and check out that dumper again. I think it was the newest one. No, I was wrong. So yeah, that's full up. You can tell because the texture meets the sides at the top there. I'm pretty sure it's full anyway. I've left them under there before for a while, and other than causing a load of lag and frame rate drops, it doesn't really do much. It didn't appear to overflow at any rate. So that's my overflowing operation. Just stops it piling up. And provides a sort of step down the hill for the waste ejector pile, which is on the end there, which I clean out regularly with I use 500 for that. With its toothed legs, I don't really care about the levels that it's cutting or anything. I just go in there like a hooligan, and then tidy it up at the end with a smoothing tool. I have actually used the 500 down there to cut out a couple of small roads, so I've got access to the coal seam that's under the base there if I want it, without sort of cutting away the floor above. Likewise, that's what that's about as well, cutting into the top halfway of that seam, see what's in there. Low loader, anything of value back up to the top, I reckon. Low loader, dumper, whichever. Low loader's the dream. I want a low loader for moving the track vehicles around. So yeah, I'm just building this road to meet that ridge line over there. And so the first thing you really want to do is plot out roughly the line of your road along the ridge line. So I think somewhere along there. And then I just start tipping material. I don't want trees along my road, which is why I build them up rather than just smoothing them out and putting some blocks. But the tip mechanism on the dumper, really finicky. Related to gravity or something, don't know what's going on. But yeah, there's a certain position it will dump in and it's not full up. It's about halfway between up and down, and depending on how you're aligned with your hull on the ground and compared to gravity. This hill's a bit steep, I really need to improve how this is built. I think I might swing wider at the corner at the top, use some material to fill in this dip here. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really need this bottom section of the road other than for demonstrating a fuel tank mission to that tower. So for the amount I'm going to be using it won't be too bad. The seams I'm interested in are off at this corner, which is why I was thinking of making the corner a bit wider and decreasing the slope that way by increasing the length of the angle that you take down to the next corner, and basically zigzag down the hill like all mountain roads do, you know, since that's the terrain we're in at the moment. So yeah, park up the dumper, wait for the other one to fill. I'd normally do some more mining at this point, but due to that crash with the excessive amounts of mining, that could be a bit dodgy, so go back to the road build instead. There we go. So yeah, so my road's going out in that direction. I've been dumping with the dumper. Needs to be fairly level, so probably don't want a bit of this hump here, to be honest. So we'll just try to take that out. And yeah, there we go. Just gently taking a skim off like a scraper. As it should. It's a loader, it's not an excavator. It's got a smooth bucket, that's correct performance in my personal opinion. Others may argue of what smooth buckets should do. And I think this bulking thing is going to be great for, you know, big storage piles of like filtered rock or that kind of thing for exchanging it, and that kind of like processing piles, I guess, would be surge piles. Would probably be the best way of putting it. So yeah, I'm scraping away at the material at this corner, just trying to sort of take some of that lump out of it, whilst at the same time dumping over here in a sort of berm type affair, so that the next dumper tip, when it goes in, will sort of sit up here rather than drop away. And that allows you just to level up the road a bit more, give yourself a bit more room, instead of crashing off of edges like I have done in the past. Basically a safe road building technique, you know. So yeah, I'm just going to scrape more along that way. And you can see it wasn't very effective a scrape, but I'm deliberately pushing the material along, by the way. When you see that hump appearing, if you're trying to collect material in the bucket, you're full. So yeah, just build that up a bit more. There we go. And the joy of this bulky mode is it makes sort of, I guess you call it sprinkling material, a lot easier. You can just push these lumps along. You can see how I'm starting to build down to roughly where I've tipped loads. But you can see there's a bit of a dip here. And you can just gently tilt the bucket, start that gentle sprinkle and just reverse. And tilt the bucket again because it's related to gravity. And you get this slow build up of material out of the bucket. So it can be used very effectively for road building just like this. This is why I'm thinking of buying another 501 loader rather than the 500. Just get rid of the 500. But we shall see, we shall see. So yeah, you do that and you get the heck out of the way because you're going to come down here with a dumper in a sec. I can't remember which dumper I parked. It wasn't this one last time, it must be this one this time. It is. Right. So we go through this rigmarole again. I need to expand this platform so I can just drive around in a circle with the dumpers and just drive under, line them up. Also means I can leave the parking brake off and they won't roll anyway. There we go. It's a good habit to remember the parking brake, and I think it helps physics calculations in that stuff doesn't just roll around and move on its own when you're not there. That used to be a reason to crash the game. I've also turned around and seen excavators running down hills like they're on wheels, and bulldozers as well. So yeah, like this slope isn't good for bulldozers without the brakes on. This one's really steep, really. Fill in that hole there, that takes some of it out. I'll get around to it. I'm going to play with a grader or something. Like there's a shoulder there that could come out a bit as well. Yeah, get around here. Probably go in at, yeah, I'll go in at that bit, because if we go high, go in that gully. So yeah, position yourself properly. And likewise, the fact that this is a bit finicky kind of comes in useful. You can control quite easily where it's coming out by tipping up and down. That narrow gap does have its uses. So yeah, we've done a bit of loader work here. Done a bit of dumper work. Just do a bit of smoothing work. This is where I want the roller. The grader might do it, but front wheels going over all the lumps really does throw it out, from what I can tell. I've only used it the once, but yeah, you know, a road, some kind of roller, you know, the kind of things, would be probably the thing through there. Even all this up. Give me some flatter entries if I want to take more material from there, from the road build, but I'll try and take it from the seam side, I think, because that's what I want to open up. I'll just run through here again, because that looks humpy. Lumpy, not good. Still lumpy. That's a ramp. I'm building up that ramp on that concrete just to aid my road building techniques. I'm going to smooth all this out to save on shadow generation. Oh, down to 37. So just smoothing there is giving me hits on my FPS, and that doesn't normally happen. And it's as you game on with time. Normally about 18 to 20 minutes in, I start to see these frame rate hits. So I stop digging and I start running material down here with the dumpers like I'm doing at the moment. Being bad there, I should have run the dumper back and then gone and done the smoothing by jumping back to another vehicle, so this was ready to load up, but we'll see. I think I loaded up about 4 dumpers worth of material into the machines, being about 12 bucket loads evenly divided. So we should get 6 dumper worth, accepting what's extracted. I don't think I turned on the crushers. Ah well. So there's going to be a load of stuff to crush built up in there. Be interesting to see how quickly it processes that little lot. So yeah, because I've been a bad boy, that's full up. Yeah, it feels like they take forever to fill under this thing, and they do. But when you do something else in the game and another job, they fill up mighty quickly. So it seems to generate a lag problem. I don't think I'm doing anything out of the ordinary for the game either, so I don't think it's because I'm pushing anything too far. Maybe it's because this isn't a fresh game save for the soil update. It might be that. I'm going to keep an eye on the Discord. If you know anything about that, let me know. Don't really want to restart. Quite a lot of work been done in this. But you know, these things happen. There are game-breaking updates. But we'll see how it goes. We'll stick with it for the moment because it's working. If the game gets broken and it takes a week or so for the devs to fix, I will switch to something else. I don't know what. Might give Railroads Online another go. I said I'd review my review at some point in a comment on that. I do think this soil update, they've made a little bit of a mistake in rushing it out. I think they could have left it another week for the main branch. At the same time, if you wanted to break your players of the habits of the old one and get them used to the new zeitgeist, the new method, the new metaphor, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, if you're over on the angle on the dumper, you just can't tip, which is annoying. There we go. Bring the nose round, get it level. Might be a reason to have a GPS on the dumper now, so that you know when you're level to tip. But yeah, if you wanted to break your gamers of their old habits to get them used to a new idea and a new method of the game, getting this into the main branch early is a good idea, and then fine-tuning it. Don't know. Depends on your viewpoint. Dev science, I guess. I guess we're talking dev science. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up at around 20 minutes at the moment because that's all the game stability I've probably got. I think. And I've discussed what I think I want to discuss. Trying to keep everything on focus and that kind of thing. As you can see from the way this dumper is straining up this hill empty, it's a bit of a... I like the new gearbox, but at the same time I think there's something going on with the torque here. This thing can move like 40 cubic meters or 40 ton or whatever, and yeah, empty it shouldn't strain to get up a steep hill. Like, I've seen these things, I've seen what they can do. Pure insanity jobs. Oh, so we're out of material already, so there must have been a fair amount of that material that I put in that was, shall we call it drum worthy? Let's go and have a look. Incidentally, if you want your little dot back for aiming, you just press the inventory off and on and it brings it back after you jump out of a machine. It's a known problem, they'll get to it. I did turn them on, they are working, so that's all done with. So yeah, in conclusion, I need to expand this deck. The soil update appears to work. There is a game-breaking memory leak, and that's how I build roads. So I'm going to continue doing that for the rest of the day. Got a counselling appointment in the middle of the day for trauma received from an A&E doctor. Thank you very much. Good medical care. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later on when I'll hopefully have shown some more progress and going to experiment with a different way of loading these machines. Probably going to crash the game again. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I hope some of this was useful to some of you. And yeah, this is Mr. JP saying thank you to all his viewers, and I'll see you later.